And then, can you do it over and over and over again, right? To do it over and over again, you got to have great habits. You got to have a short-term memory. You got to have a next play mentality, right? We don't ask our guys to be perfect because it's not realistic. But to be consistent, you got to be able to make a play, good or bad, and whatever the result of that play is, you got to go make the next play. So if my partner Ryan Donald screws up, or sorry, if I screw up and Ryan Donald's my partner, that's probably better. Well, he's got to, no matter what happens, he's got to come over and bail me out and make that next play. Or if I have a huge open ice hit, that's great. But if I don't go get the puck and execute that next play or that next pass, what's the point? All right? The best players I've coached can do that within the shift. Right? They can get onto that next play mentality within the shift. The really good guys, after a bad shift, hit the reset button, and then you go. Some guys takes a period, some guys take a game, and then you get into a couple games. You lose a guy for a week, a month, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So that's what we want to get to. That's ultimately what we want our D to be. So how do our D get there? And we talked about it earlier today. Time and space, right? The more time and space you have, the more efficient, the more consistent you're going to be. And then along with time with space, giving ourselves an opportunity to have multiple options or the illusion that there's multiple options. Because if there's the illusion that there's multiple options, there's going to be a reaction from the defensive team, right? And now you're going to have more opportunities to execute. Again, be efficient, be consistent. Create time and space for yourself. The puck carrier, create time and space for your teammate. And again, that idea of creating multiple options or having the ability to go to multiple options with the puck. 5 ways we're going to use deception, or I'm going to talk about deception in all 3 zones today, right? Your eyes, your feet, your stick, your inside shoulder. Some combination of those things. Sometimes it's only one of them, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3, right? But different ways and different aspects you can use deception to create time and space for you or your partner. And then the last thing in the context, again, what we're talking about today is using the net. The inventors of our great game gave us as defensemen a lead blocker. Like they gave us a fullback. And I think it's, maybe we talk about it too much from the teams I've been on, but I think it's so important to take advantage of that net, take advantage of your goalie, be extremely detailed, because the guys that are really good at using the net create a ton of time and space and lose the forecheck. All right, so we're going to go through kind of these 5 categories and coming out of our zone, and then it's going to translate to the neutral zone and translate to the offensive zone. And a lot of these habits, again, you're going to hear a lot of terms from me over and over again. And what I want to do is try to show that it's simple. It's not easy, but I think there's simple foundations that help D-men, whether you're 14 years old or you're Brooks Orpik at 38. All right, and we'll kind of go through the 3 zones through video here. Because of my background, I want to show video. I got some Quinnipiac clips, I got some Hershey clips, and I got some NHL clips, just to try to show how this stuff translates through different levels. A couple still shots in an ideal world. So we're going to talk first about having multiple options or having the illusion that there's multiple options. If your eyes are up and the puck's on your hip, you can go to multiple options, or there's the illusion to the forechecker that you have multiple options. Right? So there's one look at it with John Carlson, a second look at it with Dmitry Orlov. So I'm going to talk about the foundation of our defenseman in an ideal world. This is the foundation for us. All right, eyes up, puck on the hip, and that creates your ability to pass to multiple options, which will lead to being an extremely efficient defenseman. Getting into some of the video here. There's the foundation right there. There's Madison Bowie right there. Okay, so that's what we spend a lot of time practicing on. Getting your eyes up, getting your puck on the hip. So now that's the foundation in this scenario. When our eyes are up and our puck's on the hip, deception in this scenario is just a byproduct of really good habits. Right? We're going to talk about deception going back and getting the puck. But in this scenario, all that is a byproduct of really good habits. And now I'm going to play. You're going to watch the reaction of not only this forward, but the 2D are going to slide over to our center and our right wing, because they don't have any idea where Madison's going with it. Madison has the ability to pass to all 3 guys. You can see where he's not trying to be deceptive, but it's a byproduct of having really good habits and a really good foundation. And then Matt Niskanen here comes up with the puck. There's our foundation. Eyes up, puck on the hip. He can pass up the wall. He can pass the middle. He can flip. He can become evasive. And what does it do to the defensive team? What's it do to this forechecker? Right? The deception is a byproduct of great habits. Forechecker guesses, for lack of a better term. Niski's able to come back through the middle. Buried in the corner. Not where we want to be. right? Buried in the corner this is Michael Kempney. But he gets his eyes up, he gets the puck on his hip right away. So if he could go north, if that was an option, he can move it quickly. He can't. Look at the reaction it causes by the Carolina forecheckers, right? Deception is a byproduct of really good habits and a really strong foundation of getting your eyes up and getting that puck on your hip. F1 and F2 react. Now John gets it, Carlson, on his hip, eyes up. Oh, we can go quick? Well, let's go quick. You don't need deception. So that's the habit, the foundation we want to talk about as much as we can. Here's Hershey. Aaron Ness, same idea. Gets around the net, which we'll talk about later. His eyes are up. Puck's on his hip, relatively speaking. Freezes this F2 right here. There's no option here. There's no one for him to pass to, but there's the illusion that there's options. There's the illusion that F2 feels like, oh, I better protect this wall because of his habits. Allows him to come through the middle. And again, efficiency and consistency, right? That's what this all comes back to for me and what those habits do. Again, you're going to see Connor Hobbs and Hershey gets around that net, gets his eyes up, gets the puck on his hip. Wilkes-Barre is on top of all of his options. In my opinion, he doesn't have an option right now to make a great pass. But because his eyes are up and because that puck's on his hip, I want you to watch the reaction of this guy. He comes off the wall to take a puck away from the middle where there's really not an option. So there's his reaction. Now the wall opens up. It leads to efficiency. Okay, this is Quinnipiac. This is 4 years ago. This defenseman right here is Connor Clifton. I got the pleasure of coaching Connor for 3 years. This is his junior year, his third year. He obviously broke out on the scene with Boston this year as a rookie in the playoffs. This is something we were talking about 4 years ago, the idea of getting that puck to your hip. I think a lot of guys, a lot of defensemen would take that puck right now, maybe stick handle it, then get their eyes up, right? It limits what your options are when you do that. What Connor's going to do is he's going to let it get all the way to his hip, get it to his foundation, and now he has the ability to have multiple options, and he makes an extremely efficient play, right? So that's the first time he touches the puck is right there. As much as we can get our D to feel comfortable doing that, the better off they're going to be. I think the more efficient they're going to be. And one of the last ones here, and this is one I'm really proud of. This is a cool one. So this is Tyler Lewington. All right, Tyler Lewington played 3 full years in Hershey. All right, he just finished his 4th year pro. So his 2nd and 3rd year, I coached him in Hershey the whole year. This past year, I'm in Washington. He gets called up. This is his first NHL game. All right, 4th year pro, I think 7th round draft pick. This is his first NHL game. All right, it's a 2-goal game in the 3rd period. Kind of a big moment. He goes back for this puck. This puck is stuck on the yellow, but he gets his eyes up. He gets the puck on his hip immediately. All right, I want you to watch the reaction of what F1 does. He hugs the wall. 9 here. Starts bailing, thinking there's deception, again, is the byproduct of good habits. And then right here, 10, starts to bail. Like Louis has nothing right now. And this is a rookie defenseman that is playing his first game in the NHL in the National Hockey League. But because of his habits, because of his foundation, there is a reaction by all 3 forecheckers. That deception becomes a byproduct. He's able to create time and space. He's able to have multiple options. We break out. He played an awesome first game, and he earned that with the work he put in for 4 years in the minors and the work that Hershey staff did with him last year, and Pat Weller and Spencer Carberry and Mike Eastwood. But that was a pretty cool one. We got excited on the bench for that one. All right, again, Dmitry Orlov, get it on your hip, get your eyes up. It causes a reaction by F1, and now you can become evasive and be pretty efficient.